and welcome to the stage, Lucy and Donna. I think we're going to get straight into it. Is everybody all right with that? Straight into it? Great. And I just want to say thanks to the groupies from the sauna from yesterday to be here. I really appreciate that. We literally met in the sauna. She didn't recognize me and had my clothes on, but that's another story. One thing that we've noticed at the moment is with AI, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but it seems that AI content is flooding our social media feeds, from our LinkedIn posts or LinkedIn comments. So the question I have for you is, in a world where content is no longer the sort of differentiator, how does a book or an award play an important part in helping people stand out?
Go first. Hi everyone, thank you for the whooping, not sadly. Okay, how does the award help somebody stand out? Well, here in the UK in particular, we're pretty humble about what we're doing and how we're doing it and how well we're doing. And so we tend to want to hide back from actually this kind of recognition that makes us stand out. But actually by entering into awards and winning good high profile awards, you stand out immediately from your competitors. There's a lot of research to show that customers want to see both awards and reviews on your website. Credible third-party awards will help you to pull that buying trigger and get customers over the line, really. Yeah. I always think about it as like, well, what would I do when I'm shopping online or talking to people for different services? And I think, well, the first thing I do is decide if I trust that brand. Do I want to spend my money with them? And particularly in the pandemic and ever since then, there are so many businesses that actually went bust that we never would have expected to, big names that we know, that trust issue became even more so. And so now we as human beings just have even higher expectations of building trust. So we're looking for something from a brand, no matter how big or small your business is, to make you stand out. And then walk and do
it's almost like a signal. Yeah. Like we're walking in the dark and we're looking like for a signal that stands out. Yeah, thanks, Donna. Lucy, what about you? What about books?
I think books are an absolutely iconic format. People are always predicting the end of books, and AI is another reason to predict the end of books. You won't read a book because you can get it all from ChatGPT. But there is something iconic and long-lasting and permanent about a book, especially a printed book. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have an e-book and an audio book, you absolutely should. But a printed book is really something special still. It has a monetary value. You can give it to somebody as a gift. It's really special. And it sometimes seems that everybody's writing a book, but actually that's not true at all. Only a very select few people, in fact, end up writing their books, especially their business book, about them and their business and what they do and why they do it. And there is something really special about that. And they say that it takes, I can't remember how many hours to be with somebody before they know, like, and trust you. But if somebody's reading your book, they're going to be spending 4, 5, 6, 7 hours listening to your voice. And I think what we forget sometimes when we're writing a book is that every single reader is having a one-to-one experience with you. They are sitting, listening to your voice in their head or through earphones or whatever. But it's a one-to-one experience of you talking to them, and you cannot spend 3 or 4 hours with 3,000 people in real time. So having your book out there doing that talking for you is incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Just quick raise of hands here. Who here is thinking about writing a book or feels like they might have a book in them, but they're not quite sure, they're a bit hesitant? Yeah, put your hands up, don't be shy. Okay, cool. Who here is thinking like there's no way I could ever win an award in my business? I'm not at that right stage right now. Like, awards seems like really far. Put your hands up. Yeah, don't be shy. Who's cool? So I just want to speak to that on both of you. Donna, in your experience, like, what do you think is one of the biggest obstacles that gets between people actually entering awards? Forget about winning or not winning. But what do you think is the thing that gets in the way of people actually even thinking, I'm good enough to enter an award?
Mindset, immediately. And also understanding what it actually takes to win, because no one wants to go into any kind of competition where you're about to get judged, frankly, which is what's going to happen, without knowing if you've got some chance of success. Like, you wouldn't go into a running race not knowing really whether you're in, are you going to be up against Liverpool Christie or is it going to be like one of the mums from school? You want to have some idea of what you're up against. And so I always think one of the best measures, no matter whether you're an early stage business and you may be just 6 months in, or whether you're 10 years down the road, is to think, what is the impact that I'm having? Because if I can acknowledge and evidence the impact that I'm having, both quantitatively and qualitatively, I'm in with a chance. And then if you look at the previous winners of the same competition, you can get some alignment of, well, what was the impact that they had, and am I in the same kind of running, the same kind of ballpark?
Yeah, I like that. And just for transparency, so I've entered a bunch of awards and lost a lot of awards. And one thing that we were talking about earlier that is not being spoken to enough is the idea of putting yourself forward for an award is extremely vulnerable, especially if you let the world know that you're entering this award, and because you might not win, and then you might feel silly, and does that mean that I'm not good enough? Does that mean that my product, my service isn't of quality? And it's not the case. And we're going to talk about why in a second. Lucy, first, I'm just interested in what gets in the way of people thinking, I might have a book, I know I should write a book, yes, you're right, I could get into the hands of potential customers. You've worked with thousands of people who are trying to write books. What gets in the way?
So I think the first thing that gets in the way is people thinking they need to have a big, new, original idea because they need to write a bestseller. And that is absolutely not the case. If you've been working in your business or what you do, your practice, for a couple of years, you've got a process that you take your clients or customers through. You've got some clients who can give you great case studies, and you can tell part of your own story. Then you have a book to write. It doesn't have to be a bestseller. You're writing a book for your ideal client, and the return on your investment is not going to be selling millions of copies on Amazon, because you only make £2 a book you sell, so you've got to work really hard at that. But if you write a book for your ideal clients, give them the information they want to know about you and your process and why you're right, why you do what you do, then the idea is that they will come back and want implementation with you through your services. So one book that goes out to an ideal client or prospect and comes back to you with somebody saying, I want to buy £2,000, £20,000, £200,000 of your services, that is what you're writing your book for. The book will all build your business.
Yeah, and there's something also in the process of who you become. We spoke about this when we were preparing for this conversation, that there's actually a gift in the development or the self-development of yourself as you go through the process, because when you write a book, you're forced to clarify your thinking, you're forced to dig for your frameworks, for your methodologies, and it kind of really makes you more of an expert in your topic. Same thing for an award. You've got to dig your story. So can you speak a bit more about that, about the benefit of even just doing the process, not even the outcome, whether you're getting a publishing book out there or if you win an award? Like, what is the benefit of actually going through the process? For anybody who's thinking, I'm sort of award or book curious.
Yeah, I think with awards, what I love about it is that you can, as a solo entrepreneur or a small scale business or even scaling, you can employ the same strategies in your business as the biggest corporates in the world do in theirs to win awards. So it really doesn't shut anybody out. And so the actual development process and what those big brands do is they benchmark themselves against their competitors constantly, and they use awards to do that. We work with a huge amount of incredible large businesses who are constantly comparing themselves to, well, we think our customer experience is great, but let's look at the rest of the brands in our sector or even outside of our sector, and how do we benchmark ourselves against them? We will enter the same awards. And then particularly awards that will give you feedback and detailed reports afterwards, then you've got a really good understanding of where you're at. Now you can do the exact same things, so you can, I always say don't try and work backwards from a deadline, kind of, don't think, oh, I'll enter that award because the deadline's next week, let's get moving. Look at the awards that are deadlining in 6 months' time or in a year's time, and work forwards towards the award for what you can build in your business. Because if you look at some of the best awards criteria, you can see what the best awards will be achieving, and you can actually make that happen and be very deliberate about it. So, you can reverse engineer, and a lot of people and a lot of businesses are doing that, but the most savvy businesses are looking forward at what awards they'll be entering next year and strategizing very intentionally around what they're going to implement in their business to get the evidence and create the success that they need to then go on and win that award.
Love that. Thanks, Donna. Lucy, what goes
Yes, I always say that writing a book is the best piece of self-development you could ever do, because when you unpack what you're doing, when you plan out in detail a structure that will take your reader through the process that you take a client through, when you write 30,000 words, and that's not a massive amount of words. I mean, if you think of a 1,000-word blog post, you're just writing 30 of those. So that's another thing that also stops people, the idea it's such a huge undertaking. But when you break it down and you go through that process, and it is an emotional journey when you write a book, but it's a really good one. And I think every author that I've ever worked with has come back and said, you know, my business is so much better for writing my book, because I now know what I do best, and I've made adjustments and I can see what I could do better. Some people even pivot their businesses, change their businesses as a result of writing their book. So even if you never published it, which of course is not something I'd be suggesting, just writing your book is just an amazing thing to do.
That's true. And something that I found was really interesting when I was talking with you both is you both have quite an unconventional journey to starting your own businesses. And now you've sort of reinvented yourselves as tech bros in your different sort of eras as well of age. But first of all, I just wanted to say, you know, because people who might not know more about you, so Donna, you started August Recognition. You know, a few years back, you've been working with people, helping them win awards, and then suddenly you thought, well, why not start a tech business and a platform? But you've had your eye on that for quite a while up until now. What changed?
So August Recognition is 9 years old, and when I started the business, I went into a business accelerator, and I thought I want to develop a platform 9 years ago that can really help people to enter awards more efficiently, more accessibly, more affordably. There wasn't really the technology around to do what was inside my head. So I developed an agency and went through the whole process of everything that anyone here who's got an agency knows, the roller coaster of life. Built the agency, have grown it. And then AI arrived a couple of years ago. And what was really interesting for me is that I studied linguistics, English linguistics, which included large language models and computational language. And so that was super exciting for me. And I was like, hang on a minute. Oh, now I might be able to start developing my platform finally. My business had become part of the Den Group with Daniel Priestley in 2020. And obviously, you know, Dan's well into AI. So like, shall we do this now? Yeah, let's do this now. So we're now moving from, we still have August Recognition, the agency. So we work very much as a white glove service for our clients, helping them to achieve recognition for their teams and their products without doing any of the heavy lifting. But the AwardsApp platform that we have now, which is in development, we've had the incredible response to that. We've been fundraising, we're building now. I've got a great tech team behind us. That's hopefully beta by the end of the year. Yeah, because one of the things that I think a lot of us might resonate with is who here's got technical abilities or would be really comfortable to build a tech startup or an AI coding skills? Raise your hands. Yeah, a few hands. Yeah, okay. Most of us are not like that. And Donna, I don't think you would describe yourself as a tech sort of. No, I mean, I'm not. I'm fine with tech.
Yeah.
I would not want the responsibility of being behind it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the ideas person. I just want it to work like this, and you can kind of magically make that happen in some special way that I don't understand. So
because it's finding the right people. Like one of the things that you said was like it's not about having the tech skills. It's about.
No, and I think that's one thing us as entrepreneurs is one of our biggest skills is just put the right people in around you who do have the right skills and do have the knowledge that you don't have and complement yours, and who will embrace your vision and your mission. And I'm very fortunate that my brother is actually our CTO and is a tech geek and does understand all this stuff, but also understands my business and has watched me grow it for a long time. So I've been very fortunate, and also this is pure coincidence, but it sounds a bit weird. My sister actually runs awards programs, so she is our awards advisor, so she will be verifying all the awards programs that go into our database, that they are safe and brilliant. And obviously Daniel is the champion of the universe when it comes to marketing, and David Horn as our CFO, so it's an incredible team.
Yeah, and I think the message around that is sort of you might not have the skill that you need, or you might not have the know-how, but find someone who does. and like surround yourself with people who can. And Lucy, you've got a very different background. LLM was not part of your sort of parkour, and you weren't thinking about, I really need a platform. You know, you've been building Rethink Press with Joe over the years, and then a message on a group popped up, and something inside of you said, hey, wait a minute.
That's right. Well, I mean, my whole kind of, I'm very unstrategic. I've never had some goals, I must do this, I'm not, you know, I didn't have this desire to have a platform. I think what I'm quite good at is just seeing opportunities when they arise and going out and grabbing them. And that was what happened when I met Joe Gregory. I mean, he published one of my books. And I knew that his business, but I discovered that we lived quite close together, and his business partner had just left, and I thought, interesting, that could be my next step. So we ended up going into business together and starting Rethink Press. Out of Rethink Press, I became the published mentor of the Key Person of Influence program, so developed a whole process for teaching entrepreneurs to position, plan, and write their books. And then when one of the people who'd been on this program, who was a tech person, Jonathan Farrar, somebody put in the Facebook group, I'm having trouble writing my book, I think I might start an app. I messaged him and said, you can't do this without me, let's get together. So that's what we did. We you know, it was again a sort of just seeing an opening and saying, yes, AI is the perfect thing to now take book mentoring, book coaching into the next phase and making it more open, more accessible and cheaper for people so that far more people can write their book. And it's been an amazing team. So we too have Daniel, we have David Horn, we have Jonathan Farrar, and there's Joe and me. So it's, finding the right people I think is absolutely key, because no way I could develop tech.
I love that, and because not only is it about the right people at the right time, but another thing that we were talking about was the season of life, and that there are different seasons in the life of a founder, of an entrepreneur, of a business owner. You know, some of us might have some young kids or pets or elderly parents that we need to care for, so we can't always be as full on as others. And I just wanted to speak that a little bit, because I think, Donna, you made a really interesting point about now your kids have grown up a little bit, so you've got a bit more time to go full in boldly. Like, do you want to speak to that, especially to the people in the room thinking, I'm behind, and you know, I'm not doing as much as I should do?
Yeah, I think there's always a temptation. I still do it now. I think, I should have done this by now, I should have done that by now, and you sort of berate yourself as a founder that you're not quite ahead enough, but actually you're probably more ahead than you realise you are. I have two daughters who are 22 and 20 now, and I couldn't have done it. I wanted to do it a decade ago, but I think I'd have really struggled running around as mum, looking after all their needs. That doesn't change, by the way, when they're in their 20s. It just gets more expensive. And so I just think, you know, and particularly for mums and for carers, like you say, and anybody who's got other responsibilities, like, don't beat yourself up if you haven't done it yet. Don't get upset about the AI thing. Think, oh, I'm not on the curve yet, I haven't got there. You will, everybody does. You know, at one point I remember when we went from writing things down with pens and paper to a computer. You know, and everyone thinks, oh, I don't know how to do that. You'll get on board, you will, it will happen. Like, don't get cross with yourself, it isn't happening yet. Make sure it's the right time for you, because I think right now I just feel like it has actually been perfect time. I actually wanted to do it last year, but I wasn't well last year. And if I'd have tried to do it, I probably would have completely broken myself. So sometimes I think you have to take a little step back, take a breath, let yourself get back to the point where actually it's safe and the right time to do it for you. You've got the right people around you, you've got the support around you. And then, you know, you've got everything to aim for there. Yeah,
I love that. And then Lucy said something to me which really resonates, like, I'm only getting started. I feel like I'm only blooming now. Like, can you talk to that? Like, people who are sitting here, no matter what age bracket we're in, would feel like, oh, it's too late. It's like, I'm too fill in the blank.
Well, you know, I'm 70 and I've just become a...
What? Come on, get out of town, Lucy.
So, you know, if I can start up a tech company when I was 69, there's loads of, I bet I'm the oldest person in the room, and I think all of you have got loads of times. I've reinvented myself practically every decade of my life. I've been a TV producer, a TV writer, a presenter, I've been a work-life balance expert. I've been almost a teacher because I went back to college in my 50s. And I never became a teacher because I met Joe and started reading Precedent instead. But then I've become a book mentor, and now and I've also written fiction books. I've done all sorts of things. So you really, the things come along. Just I would say, grab the opportunities when they come, make the most of them. Don't think anything's a finite period. There's always more to come, and don't get, as Donna says, don't beat yourself up if you feel that you're getting on a bit. It's just a number. You can keep going. You can do anything at any age, I reckon. Well, up to a point, there will be a point, I'm sure, where I have to stop doing things. But, I have so much more I want to achieve. So, just give yourself a break and trust that the right time will come. And don't try to rush it, as you said. Things have to unfold and be the right timing and the right people.
Love it. Love it. That's a great way that's actually a beautiful place to start. So we're going to take a few questions from the audience.
Hi, thank you so much, all of you. My name's Jess from...
Hi, Jess.
It's a question on awards. I'm really proud that I won a National Diversity Award at 90,000 last year.
Woo! Big round of applause!
Yeah.
We have an award winner in the room.
Achievement.
Well, that's just it. I feel the pressure now. Someone nominated me for that, so I didn't have to put work in to get votes, and that was a journey in itself, actually, which was a wonderful one. But now I feel like, that's got 2024 in it, and I've had something, very kindly this year as well. But I feel the pressure now to when do you feel outdated because you have won an award?
Yeah, so people often say that, and I got a 2002 award on my website. Do you think it's old? Maybe. I think, once you've won an award, you don't lose it, right? It's still yours. It's an asset, and that asset will stay with you. So always continue to use it. But what I would do is try and think forward. So what are your goals for the next year? What do you want to be known as? What do you want to be known for? Control your reputation, and awards will help you to do that. So think about, in 6 months' time or in a year's time, this is a good time of year actually in the UK to do this, because the awards season is kind of coming to an end. Really, we've got ceremonies now, and then it all springs back up again in around February. So it's a good time to think, right, what do I want to plan for next year? If I could get recognition for anything, what would it be? And what would the name on the tin look like? Because there will be an award that does that. I can guarantee you, no matter what you do. So there's some fantastic awards. The Great British Entrepreneur Awards will be opening. I'm a judge for that in March, and I can't just tell you over the awards now. The Lloyd's British Business Excellence Awards, they have a great diversity category. I'm a judge for that as well. So there's loads of awards out there you can potentially be doing. But what I would be doing is looking forward, looking at who's in the finals this year, looking at their profiles, what are they doing, how did they get in the finals, what are they celebrating, and looking at the criteria that they will have had to enter this year, and then working towards that for next year. That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Welcome. And
I like
congratulations.
that. I just want to say something really quickly that, so I've entered one award called the Public Speaking Awards, and I've entered it every year for the past 4 years or 5, whatever it is. I've never won, right? I didn't get shortlisted once, I got shortlisted this year. And my wife was like, why do you put yourself through this? Why are you doing this? I was like, because I'm stubborn. But I'm also thinking the more I do it, the better I become. And even now I'm thinking about, the content, the application for next year. So I love that idea of forward thinking. Cool. Other questions? We've got time for another couple of questions. At the back, we've got a couple of questions here. At the back on the left side, we're taking a couple here. We're going to take a couple on the left.
How do you distinguish a reputable award? There's a lot out there where you need votes, which could maybe feel unfair for small companies, or you could be just as good.
That's a really good question, and it's really important. That's scary. So I always say, look at awards with a little bit of cynicism. Do your due diligence.
Come into the tent, people.
Come into the tent.
Come into the wall.
Oh my goodness.
Come closer. We know you came to see us, not because of the rain. Sorry.
Yeah, so do your due diligence for awards. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of what is and what isn't viable. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself.
Yeah,
So first of all, Don't ever pay to win, pay to play. Some awards are run by pure play awards organisations, which are very legitimate, but they have to pay for the event somehow, so you can expect to pay something to enter. There will be some awards where you don't pay anything to enter because they've got a big sponsor who's paying for you. So for example, Great British Entrepreneur Awards, free to enter, it's sponsored by Alka Bank. So it just depends on their sponsorship model. But don't pay to win, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, if it drops in your inbox and it tells you that you're a finalist and you've never heard of it before, you're not. It's not really, ignore it, put it in them. It's like all of those HMRC scams and things like that. Go and have a look on social media profiles. Are they live and kicking? Do they have an event? Not all great awards have an in-person event. There's some fantastic international awards that do online ceremonies. So again, the event itself is not necessarily going to tell you whether it's legitimate or not. I would look at previous winners. I would look at the sponsors and the partners who are involved. Is there a line of communication to them that you can make? So it is about doing your research. So we do all of that for our clients, so they don't have to worry about it, and AwardsApp will do all that for you. The reason part of the reason for AwardsApp is to help to reduce the scams. So the only awards that will go into our platform will be verified by our awards program advisor.
So that's the app.
That will be safe.
So
yeah.
awards, just to clarify, AwardsApp, what you're saying is you're going to sort of vet all the awards, and those that are going to be on the app are legit.
They'll be legit, they'll be recommended, they will be global. Because there's so many other scams that are happening right now, you do need to be careful. Some large awards programs have had their websites cloned, and people think they're entering an award, but they're not. There's a link farming scam at the moment where people send you a logo and tell you you've won, put it on your website. At the end of the day, if you're not sure, ask them, ask around, ask us. You can find out, just don't enter something just because someone sent you a message telling you to enter. Okay?
I hope that's helpful. Right, we're going to wrap it up. We're perfect on time. Just before we go, Lucy, where can people connect with you? They can come to the Den Zone, but where can they connect online? Where's like the best place you hang out?
The easiest place to find me personally is on LinkedIn, but go to Book Magic AI if you want to write your book, and rethinkpress.com if you want to talk about publishing.
Donna, what about you?
Yeah, LinkedIn for me too. Just look me up, send me a message. And if you contact us on hello@augustAwards.com, we would love to help you with your awards.
Yeah, love it. And so I'm Mark Leruste. It's unpronounceable because I'm half French, half English. Nobody's perfect. And you can find me at storycast.co, and I'm only on LinkedIn, so that's where you can find me. Let's give a round of applause for everybody who came in. And Lucy, thank you very much. Thank you.